Hey, hello, racing fans. Welcome to this week's DM's Live Harness Racing Handicapping Challenge. We got a great contestant this week, George the Greek versus the average fan. So George will be joining us shortly here. I don't think he's in Greece, but so our connection should be pretty good. So let's just take a look. Before we get started, I just want to remind everyone of our disclaimer here that this harness racing handicapping challenge is intended for fun only. The picks made by the system owner, which would be George the Greek today, or the average fan, are not intended to promote gambling or to be wagered on in any way. No real dollar wagers are placed during this program. The broadcaster, the host, or the guest assumes no liability for any and all wagers placed by viewers of this broadcast. Okay, once you got that out of the way. So, what is the handicapping system challenge? If some of you didn't watch last week's, I'll go over the rules. But we all know people that claim they can pick winners and make money at the track, right? So, this challenge is really designed to separate the real winners from the losers. So, we're going to challenge these system owners to make selections live on our broadcast, using their system to determine winners. So each week we'll have a different person participate, and we'll take a look and we'll compare systems how they do. So throughout the broadcast, when I bring George on, he might share some of his insights to his system, but this is not intended to teach people systems. I don't know what George, if he's got his own video classes or anything like that, but uh, he'll give us some insights into how he handicaps and everything else. Okay. Okay, so with that, I want to bring on George. Just give me a second here, George, so I can bring you in. Okay, there you are, George. You're on the broadcast. How you doing?
Very good, Des. It's great to be here. And hello, everybody.
Okay, so I've known George for a number of years, probably decades, right, George?
I think so.
Yeah. So how long you been handicapping horses, George?
Well, I would say since grade 10, so probably 1982.
Grade 10. Were you old enough to bet at that time?
No, I would sneak in and I would pretend to be old enough to turn a blind eye. So I managed to get a few bets in, but I got turned away
Oh,
many times as well.
oh, excellent, excellent.
You
So,
know,
so what, if you think back over the years, George, what was your original handicapping style like, and how has it evolved?
well, my original style was based on a book that I read by a fellow named Ainsley, and the book it was like an A to Z about handicapping, but it was more heavily weighted towards the form slash fitness of a horse, right? How how strong it was compared to its rivals. So it would heavily weight things like how long was it parked out for, how much stretch gain it would do, and things like that. And so, but what I learned over the years is that it doesn't know is that the most fit horse doesn't always win, and a lot of it really depends on positioning and also understanding what you're actually betting on. Is it a mile track, a 5/8 track, a half-mile track? What the post of the horse is, and very importantly, how fast the horse is in getting out of the gate. Because what I've learned is that it doesn't matter if the horse is really fit. If it gets a bad start, if it's seventh or eighth, it doesn't matter. It's not going to win. So even having a horse that's less fit, but first, second, or third, and i.e., better positioning, can end up as a winner.
Yeah, it's
And a
amazing
lot of that, yeah,
on those small tracks where the horses sometimes on the inside are a completely different horse versus the horses, the same horse in post 7 and 8
hmm,
does nothing, right?
exactly. And even the best driver, like you can have the top driver, but if he has a 6, 7, or 8 post in a small track, he's not going to get up, so he'll be stuck behind. And in the smaller tracks, the quality of the horses are not that good, so chances are he'll have some not strong horse in front of him, so he'll be forced to do 3 wide, which is going to waste his horse by the time it gets to the stretch.
Yeah. So tell us
So it's
about your current system then. What is how is your system today? What do you base it on?
right. Well, like my current system, like the two biggest factors, like first of all, there are 5 factors that it considers, and they consist of speed, class, form, driver, and post position. But of those five factors, the two most important for me are the class and also the speed, right? And class is very important because making a drop from a higher class to a lower class, I found over the years has a big factor, right? Because if a horse has been racing against better horses compared to what it's racing on today, that's a big advantage. And secondly, the speed factor comes out to what I was saying earlier. If the horse can get quickly out of the gate and get a good position, then that could go a long way to put him in striking distance at the stretch for a win.
Right. Okay, so we'll talk more about the system as we go forward, George. But tonight you're battling against the average fan. Okay, so
Okay.
the average fan is going to be assumed to bet the favorites, right? Because that's what the average fan does on
Yeah.
average is creates favorites, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
picked out an average fan here for you to battle. I'm going to show a little video of this guy just so you're
Okay.
ready. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see the fan. Let's see him.
I'm gonna turn him on here. Just hang on a second.
As long as not a monkey sticking a pin in a program, I'll be okay.
Don't fight his dead fucking grave. Give me the Stanley double. Come on, get up his ass and beat him. Die with this gray horse one time. Like this 3 to 5. Get up there and beat this roach. Come on, get up there and be a racehorse.
Yeah, this video's not
Get
showing
him
up
on the
here.
turn here, 5. Let's go. Sit down. Right by and give me the daily double, baby. Let's go. Unleash this 5 by. 5 or 7. One is 2. Don't buy him. Die with this dead gray. I'm begging. I am begging. One of you guys go buy this dead fucking
I don't know if you
gray.
can hear the video.
Go
George.
buy him. Go buy him.
Okay, you can watch
Get
it
by
later.
this piece
Yeah.
of shit. Get up. Get up for the double. Get up 7. Don't hang. Get up. Get up, you beast. Fucking mother.
All right, so you'll hear the sound after George, but this average fan seems like he lost. So
Okay.
which
Okay.
is usual of an average fan, right?
That's true.
They go home, they lose. So let's move on here. So what's the challenge going to be like? So we're going to have you pick 6 races in the challenge.
Okay.
You can choose the race, whatever you want. So whatever fits best for your system, because we know some systems you pass races, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be live action only. The simulated bet on each race is going to be $10. So you can bet that $10 any way you want, and you can use, if you want to do partial bets like one with two, three, four, $3.33 each. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay on this program. Okay.
Okay.
And then the average fan is going to mirror the format of the system owner in terms of if you bet exactor, the average fan will bet exactor, but they'll choose the horses based on the track odds, so based on the favorite.
Okay. So, question: do I have to? No, is it up to $10? Do I have to spend all the $10,
Yeah, it's
or is it?
$10 per race.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll spend $10. Okay. Every race we're going to track your performance on an Excel spreadsheet here, and
Okay.
we'll have the payouts and the ROI and things like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so at the end of the 6 races, we're going to evaluate your performance based on the net dollars. So did we win or lose money? And the
Okay.
return on the original investment, which is $60 for both you and the average fan.
Okay.
Okay, so
Great.
that's what it's going to be. Hopefully you and the average fan make money tonight, George.
Great.
So you can see the history here. Last week was me against the average fan. So DM, my system. And last week, our net profit was $188.57 for an ROI of 197.6%. The
Excellent.
average fan lost $28. So, on the screen here, you can see the average fan, they start with $60. The track pulls money out of the pool every week, right? They
Yeah.
pull out
Yeah.
about 23%. So if that's $60 bet, they're going to take out 14. So automatically, the average fan is down $14. So they got to make up that loss in wins.
Right,
So it's
right,
not easy. It's not easy to
right.
be a winner at the track, right? It's not easy.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we're ready to go, George.
Great.
Do you have any races you're thinking of calling out here?
I do. Yonkers Raceway, race number one.
So how many minutes to post are we?
1 minute to post.
Oh boy. All right, so let me just turn this off for a second here. So what's going to be your pick, George?
Well, I like the 2 and 6. But the 6 is a little stronger than the 2. But the 2's got a much better position, and he's got 8-1 odds. So my first bet's going to be a $5 win on number 2, and then I like to do an exactor box, um, a 2-6 exactor box. That'll give me $9, right? Yeah.
Well, we'll do 250 on each.
Okay, that's right. 250,
So
on
$5
each.
win on 2.
$5 win on 2.
Okay, and then you're
And
going to do
no, sorry, just let me backtrack. $5 win on 2, and I do an exactor part wheel. 2 with 6, 5, 1, and 3.
oh you,
Do I need one more to make it
no,
10?
why don't you just are you doing two horses or are you doing
No,
5 horses?
like I do an exactor part wheel.
Okay.
Two with 6, 5, 1, 3.
Okay.
Is that 9? Do I need one more for that,
No, it's
or
okay. We'll do $2
okay?
and 25 cents.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Should I tell you why I like 2, or are we going to wait after the race?
Just give me a second here. I just want to
Sure.
punch in the bets.
Okay.
How much time till post, George?
It is. I think it's going. It's probably going now soon. Let me just.
Oh, Yonkers is off. Okay.
Oh, it's off. Okay.
6-2 that was rattled off by Highland Tartan. Highland
Do the
Tartan
bets get
intent
in
on having
officially
that
or
lead,
no?
but Stratton looking to
They're on
follow
right
down just a
now.
bit, leading it by 3.
I'm going to open up the player
Okay.
here. Okay. So you had 5 win on 2.
On 2.
Okay. Well, two's winning right now, right?
And I had the exactor 2, 6, 5, 1, and 3.
Yeah. Okay. So we're taking a look on the broadcast here, George. That we've got 2 with 6, 1, and 3.
Okay.
Looks like 6 has got the pocket trip.
You got yeah, it looks like it.
One's
The two
coming.
two looks pretty good though.
2 looks pretty good. 1 looks pretty tough, but 2, the driver on 2 is not doing anything, which is a good sign, right?
Yeah,
He's not bouncing. He's not, giving the horse
Yeah,
shaking
he's
the
opening
rein.
up a
He's
bit.
opening him
Here we
up.
go.
Here we go, George. Looks real good.
Looks
What were the
really
odds
good.
on this guy?
92.
9-2. Okay. So it looks like you're gonna get it. Looks like a
Am
2-1.
I gonna get the exactor exact?
2-1, I think. Did you have 1?
I did.
Okay, it's 2 and 1. Good start,
Beautiful.
George.
Yes.
Good start. Very good start.
I can tell you why I picked why I chose 2 versus 6, because like in my system it was 6 and 2. 6 was a little better numerically, but I picked the 2 because of the post. What I talked about earlier. It's a half-mile track. You get a better positioning.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back, just make sure I've captured this because you did a couple of bets there, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So my bets were $5 win on number 2 and a 2 with 6, 5, 1, and 3.
So you did $1.25 exactor.
Correct.
2 with 1, 3, 5, 6, right?
Correct. And what was it? Was it 2-6? I think
It's 2-1.
2. Okay, that's not bad. Let me see. One was 3-1. That's not bad.
Okay, so let's take a look at what the average fan would have picked. They would have had 5 win on 6,
Yeah.
right? Because that was the favorite. So let me copy that down. You're complicating my betting now. That's okay
Sorry.
though. That's okay. So the average hand had 5 win on 6, and
Yeah.
a 6 with what would be the next top 4
It would
horses?
it, it would be
1,
six
2,
no, 6-1. It would be
yeah, 1,
six
2,
one.
5, and 8.
Yeah.
So 6 was not very good there.
No, 6 out of pocket, and he actually
So
faded.
so the fan didn't have a payout. Let's go back to your track and just see what.
$55 exactor. So I get 25 in the exactor. It's not bad.
Okay, so you paid 1170 to win.
Yeah.
So let's get that. So 1170 times 2.5. That's 2925.
Yeah.
And you got the 2-1 exactor 5590. It's good payouts, George.
Pretty good. Yeah. But you see, once again, it was based on positioning. In the second post, you get a good start, right?
So
So
5590 divided by 2 times 1.25. Okay, so your payout there was 64.19 for a profit of 54.19.
right.
So you're at 114.19. You're up $54 for an ROI
Next.
of 90.3. Great start, George.
Thank you very much. Very good.
Great start. Let's
All
take a
right.
look at the result. 213. I just want to punch that into the
Yep.
spreadsheet so we have a record. Okay, so you want to try to give me more than 30 seconds next time, George, so I can
Okay. So let's
capture it
find.
for the
Okay,
fans.
I've got one here that should give us some more time. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit, George, about your selection there. Why did you go with the 2?
Well, the thing is, in my so like I've got a numerical system where I talked about the 5 factors, class, driver, and so on. So there's a numerical system I apply, and it ranks the horses by total points. But then I look at what we talked about, like speed and where they're going to be at the quarter. So my system numerically had 6-2, so 6 ahead of the 2. But the issue we discussed earlier was that it's a half-mile track. Post 6 is not a good post, so I will pick a post 2 over a post 6 for horses that are evenly matched. So that's why, like, I went with the 2. Like, I thought like when I actually looked at the odds, it was 5-1. I think like that's a great ROI. Like I'm willing to bet a win bet on that at 5-1. I mean, mind you, the odds dropped to 9-2, but still, that's still a pretty good payout. And also, there were a bunch of other horses that were numerically close to the 2, the 1, the 3, and the 5, and so on. And that's why I put them in the part wheel.
I just opened CompuBet on the base settings of 10, 10, 10, 10,
Correct.
10. Shows 2, 6, 2 actually 1 point ahead of the 6, which is not very much, right?
No, it's
How
very
do
close.
when you look at CompuBet in terms of the points,
Yeah.
what is a discernible difference in your mind?
Well, there has to be at least a 10% differential for me to do, for me to do a win bet on horses that have comparable posts, like a 2 and a 3 post, right? If there's a post 2 or a post 6 or a post 7, I'm always going to go with the post 2, even if the horse is second from CompuBet.
Right.
And also, like we talked about weighting, right? Like when I use CompuBet, I put more weighting on class and on speed. So numerically, it's a little different than going 10, 10, 10. Like I don't think it's correct to use the same weighting across the
Yeah. So
five
Erica,
parameter.
Erica on the chat is asking, George, are you willing to share your weighting in terms of the factors, or is that proprietary?
The weighting is not static because it really depends on the track, right? So like in some tracks, say like a mile track, right? The speed weighting is not as important because a mile track has got a longer stretch versus a half mile track. I give more weighting to like it's not a fixed number. I vary it by track.
Right.
And that's something that you actually learn from experience, from actually knowing the different tracks and knowing how important this like the speed is. So for example, a track like Meadowlands that has a very long stretch, if speed is not that important because even if you're eighth in Meadowlands, when you come to the stretch, it is a quarter mile stretch. So a horse that's last can still make up a lot of ground.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah. So you have another track you're going to go to now?
Sure. I'm just looking at my list here. Can we do Flamborough race 3? Hopefully we have enough time.
It's off already.
Oh, it's off. Okay, we can't do Flamborough. Okay. Let's try Northfield race 5 if we can. Do you have enough time for that one? Because the things they move so quickly.
It doesn't. It looks like Northfield. I don't know.
Oh no. Sorry. It's a race. Oh, so I think it's. Let me look here. Northfield. Let's try race 1.
Where?
Northfield.
Northfield's on race 5 right now.
Is it on race 5? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Northfield race 5. There's 11 minutes to race 5, so you got lots of time here on that one. There's there's not much happening right now. You've got Northfield and Yonkers coming up in 8 minutes. Northfield in 11, so we kind of just missed a wave of races.
Yeah.
But did you have a pick at Flamborough? We won't count it, but.
I did have a pick at Flamborough race 3. The one that I liked was 3 and 9.
3 and
9.
Like
3 was my main one.
Let's see. We're not going to count it, but we can take a look, see if it came in for you.
Oh, it's even money. So like I was thinking like a 3-9 exactor, but I see those are the two favorites. So chances are I would probably pass this bet because it's not worth betting on such a small exactor. Exactors are hard to do.
9, 10, 4, 10, 2.
Yeah, you would have lost. Came in 5
65,
70,
yeah.
$12.
Yeah. So I probably would not have done that because they're so close, right? Those two. But let's just get another race here that's coming up. Well, why don't we go to Woodbine race 5? We have 5 minutes to post.
Woodbine, you're on race 2.
Oh, race 2. Sorry, yeah.
Race 2. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, like the caveat is, I generally don't bet on Woodbine because one important thing about Woodbine is that the CompuBet is not that successful on Woodbine. It's less than 30%.
So how can you tell that, George?
Well, if you actually go onto the
okay, I'm on here now.
The HPI website, if you go to the bottom,
yeah,
they say what the last week's stats were for CompuBet, 18.5%.
Oh yeah.
And then over the month, almost 30. But the thing is, the trend is downward, meaning that CompuBet is not doing that well, right? But let's take a look at race 2, just for the sake of argument. Yeah. So let me see race 2. So like I see that we have two favorites on race 2.
Okay.
I think I think probably a good bet would be maybe like a box, like a 2-3, like a 2-3 box here for the two favorites. And once like there's a pretty good post, so both horses will get a good start.
So you like the 2-3. The comp unit I'm just looking at on basic settings is showing a lot of horses pretty close, including
They're
the
pretty close.
9-1.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what are
Well,
the odds on the 2-3? We're looking at 2-1, 2-1. You think it's worth it, or?
no, I mean, one of my rules when betting is if horses, if the numerical system is within 10% of each other, like if there's three or more horses that are within 10% of each other, past that race. So here we have, at least four horses that are close together. So I would probably bet past this race. I would tend to pass Woodbine altogether just for the reason that I outlined earlier. Now,
Mm.
so
So do you have anything? Do you want to bet this race, or?
my preference would be to pass this race actually.
Okay. So what about
So
Batavia? Do you have anything there? Race 7?
race 7, I'm going to go there right now. Let's take a look. Batavia race 7. No, you know what? I think I would probably pass Batavia race 7 too because they're all pretty close horses. Let's try Yonkers.
Race
Yonkers
2?
race 2. Let me go to race 2. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, well, it's tough. Like
It's a
these
tight
are all close
race.
horses. These are all close horses, right? So I guess one important message for racing fans is you shouldn't feel compelled to bet if things are are so close, right? I mean, because your objective is to win at every bet. And when you have cases where 4 or 5 good horses can each win a race, you just shouldn't bet, right? So you need a sense of discipline when betting, I think.
So George, do you use the program much?
I do, right? After I've done my numerical system, I like looking at the program, to see the past performances, particularly how well did the horse start? Does the horse have early speed? And the program actually tells you that. So that's probably the main thing I use the program for is how good a start he's going to get.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's find a. I think we got to find a race here.
Well, we got Northfield coming up in 6 minutes, race 5. You have a pick there?
Do I have a pick here? Race? Let me take a look. Look.
I think that's Alex's favorite driver, Ronnie Wren there.
Ronnie Wren. I'm afraid not, Des. I mean, I hate to be a stick in the mud, right?
But we got to get these picks within an hour, right?
I know.
So do you want to go back to Woodbine or Yonkers?
Well, you know what?
Dayton.
Let's take a look at the times here. Oh, you know what? Dayton, race 5. Let's take a look at Dayton race 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's. So this is a very close race. I think there's an opportunity to. It's a small field, and I think there's an opportunity to make some good exactor money here, because anything can happen in a small field. So so you know what? I will make a bet at Dayton. There's 2 minutes to post, and I will. Let me see here. Okay, so let's try a $5 exactor, a $5 exactor box 3-2.
Okay.
And I just stick with that. I think that's $10, right?
So that's at Dayton, right?
Date, yeah, a minute to post.
Our first track was Yonkers, right?
Yeah.
And Dayton is race 5, is it?
It is race 5, yes. Now, the caveat here is that this is a very close race. Just 4 horses. I mean, actually, all 6 horses can win this race.
Okay, so your top two selections can come in either way, 2-3 or 3-2. That's what you're betting.
Correct.
So what's the payout there? Let's take a look.
The payout, it's pretty good.
2-3 is 20, 3-2 is 64.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good payout.
Okay. All right, so
All right, let's see.
Let's see how much time we have. Dayton, we've got it's 0 minutes. Maybe we can bring it up here. Okay, so got it up on the screen here.
Great.
Shortly. Okay, so we've got it up there now, so the fans can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And George has a 2-3 exactor.
So once again, 6 is a favorite, right? But because unless 6 goes early, he'll be 4th or 5th, and he'll be forced to go first over.
Okay, so I've got 2-3 box on this race coming up.
You do.
So George, I remember we were talking the other day about bias.
Yes.
What is bias?
Yeah. Okay. So like my background is in medical statistics, right? So bias is believing something, like believing something to be true based on your prior belief system, right? Like for example, let's say if I believe horse number one is going to, like a horse on the outside is going to win because at the last minute there was a driver change to a better driver because the new driver is a better driver and he prefers a better horse. Like that's not logical. That's a perception bias, right? But in horse racing, the kind of bias that's very relevant is called a confirmation bias. And what that means is that supposing you believe a certain horse is going to win for whatever reason, you start looking for evidence to support your belief system, right? What you should actually be doing is looking for evidence why he's not going to win. And if you can't find reasons why he's not going to win, then he's probably going to win. But that's why I try to use more numerical methods to select my horses, because when you have numerical methods, they're bias free. The numbers get calculated, for example, in CompuBet, they get calculated the same every single time. There's no inherent a personal bias that gets added to them. And what I try to do is once the numerical system is calculated, I try to incorporate some common sense things, like for example the post position and the speed, right? That can augment the actual numerical prediction.
I remember the old days, George, when we used to go to the racetrack and we would look for physical signs.
Exactly.
Horse head bobbing,
twitching, exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous, right?
Well, in times of COVID, those things have gone away. We don't see the horses warming up, and it's actually probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they change your perception for no reason.
Yeah, so I think the important thing is with selecting horses, you have to suspend your belief system, right? If you believe that horses that are colts will always beat horses that are fillies, then that's a bias, and that you should suspend that.
So, just for our fans, George, that are on, what's a filly? What's a colt?
Okay, a filly is a girl horse. A colt is a boy horse.
Okay.
And a mare is an older female, and a stallion is an older male. So so horses that are young, that are female, are called fillies. Horses that are young, that are males, are called colts. And I think the age in which they flip is around three. I think it's 3 years old, right? After three,
After three, yeah.
yeah, like after three, a filly becomes a mare and it becomes a stallion.
Or a horse. I don't. It's different terms.
Yeah, there's different terms, right? And if he gets castrated, he becomes a gelding. So
All right.
how are we doing there in the race?
It's seems like a long time for 0 minutes to post, but
I know it's.
we'll uh, we'll stick with it. Is it? You have another pick coming up, George, that you want
No,
to
let me take a look at the tracks. As I do
you
have
want to
several here
set up here?
that I've selected.
Do you have Northfield as well?
Let me look at. I have what time? Oh, I have Batavia here. Uh,
Race 8?
Actually, race 9. I'm surprised.
Oh,
It's
okay. Well,
so. I
that's.
mean, they're actually behind. I'm surprised, but.
I thought you had race 8 Batavia as well. Didn't you pick
Oh,
something?
you're right. That's right. I did have a Batavia. Yeah, I like number 2 actually, and I like a 2-1 exactor.
So
So
why don't we punch that in while we're waiting?
sure, let's do that. Let's. I'd like to do a $5 win bet on number 2.
Okay, let me copy
Yeah,
your thing from above here.
yeah. So we see that two's got very good odds,
$5 win on 2. Okay, and your exactor?
and exactor is a 2-1 exactor box.
So $2.50.
Yeah.
Box 2 and 1. Okay. All right, we got it in there.
Great.
So let's go back to Dayton. Still not running yet, but
They're quite slow, aren't they?
it looks like the exactor box for the average fan is going to be 6 and 3.
Is it for Dayton?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what'd you have? You had 2 and
I
3.
had 2-3, I think.
So that's probably going to be 3-6. But we'll check it after the race.
Yep.
The average fan is going to make their bet, a couple of minutes before the race, so they probably already bet now. So 6-3 makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The average family would bet 6-3. You're right. Well, once again, Alex, like these are not great horses, and being on a 6 pole, you have to be really strong to power up and take the lead, right? And it's a very short stretch too, so huge advantage to the horses in front. So once again, that's why the 2 and the 3, right, are though they're going to be in there no matter what.
Do you anticipate the 6 going to the front, or?
I look at his previous races. I don't think he's got like a quick speed, right? Like he's got inconsistency in the speed, right? But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just checking his driver here. See how good his driver is.
Yeah, it looks like they're moving into positions.
For Dayton, okay.
Yeah,
Let's take
here
a
we
look
go.
here. There we go. Okay. So let's see if 6 goes. I mean, I think that's going to be a big factor.
Well, in a small field, you can come from the back. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you still have, like if you're second last or last, you still have to circle a lot of guys, right? So here we go. Let's take a look. Oh, he looks like he's going.
He's
But so
going.
is. So I think. Well,
3
is he
and
going to get it yet?
6. He's going. Yeah. It's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a 6-1 all the way here. Big advantage in a small field.
Yeah.
When you get up to the top, you can control the pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in a small field like this, people tend not to park out. Oh, here comes the 3 doing a quarter move. don't know. He's not going to let him up.
It's not a very smart move.
That was
It's not a good drive.
that was a bad drive.
Let me say the driver, Jason. Well, you know what? He's not a top. He's not a good. He's 12% success driver. It's not a good thing.
Like to do that in a 6-horse field, like you want to
Yeah,
sit, you want to sit the
yeah,
second turn before you come
yeah.
out.
That's
Right?
you see right now he's going to waste his horse now, right? He
Yeah,
pops him out like
first
that,
over, right? First over.
Yeah,
But you want to sit the second turn before you pop
yeah.
out. No one's going to
You don't
pop
have
out.
you don't have to pop out. But the thing
You
is,
don't have to, you know. You could have waited for that second turn, save yourself some ground.
and what's going to happen now? He's dying now, and he's going to shuffle everybody
Two's
else
coming
with the
3
two back.
wide now. Looks
Well,
like
you see, it's not, you see three
6 is
affected the
pulling
two.
away. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the advantage of going to the front. You're not in traffic,
yeah,
you know. This looks like 6-2.
yeah.
That would be my guess at this point. 2 was coming on. No,
Yeah,
one might hang on for second, but it looks like 2.
yeah, very good drive. Actually, the driver of 6, Dan Noble, is
No,
a 20% winner.
6-1. Look like 6-1.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we didn't capture that one. So let me go to the spreadsheet. So you had a 5-win 2. Oh, sorry, you had a
No,
straight
it was
exactor box.
exactor,
Yeah,
yeah, exactor box, I think.
I think it was. I'm gonna put a 6-1 2 for now, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
I know that 2 and 3 didn't win, so you got 0 there. So you
yeah.
lost $10. Um, so we said the next one was Batavia, right?
Batavia, yeah.
Race 8. Yeah, race 8. So you have a 5-win on 2.
5 went
So
on 2, and I think I've got. Did I say? I think exactor box.
yeah, you got 5-win on 2, 250 exactor box 2 and 1.
That's right.
So let's take a look at Batavia coming up here.
Are they starting yet?
Just trying to load it up here.
Yeah, no, I think they're still jogging.
Yeah, they're still jogging a bit here, but let's
Yeah, it's very hard to time the races with the broadcast. Right? They're always
that's
moving, right?
okay. We can fill it in with
Yeah,
commentary, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I got Batavia race 8. So you thought the 1 and 2 were standouts here, or
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
what did you like about them?
Well, first of all, the drivers are pretty good. I mean, the Billy Davis for number 2 is a good driver. The driver for horse 1 is not a great driver, but post 1's a pretty easy post, right? So all he has to do is just kind of
2-minute warning.
follow along. So I'm hoping that that 2 goes out quickly and it's 2-1 all the way around. But in order to back my bet, in case 1 looks like he might have a perfect trip, right? So just to kind of like as a backup to my bet, I've got the 1-2 box, right? So I can make my money back if the 1 beats the 2 in the stretch.
Okay. So you got exactor box 1, 2, win on 2.
That's right. And 2 pays 3-2. That's not bad.
So any questions from our audience? I don't see much happening in the chat out there. Does anyone have any questions about some of George's picks, some of the technique? We go back to that fan video, George. I got my magazine here. I'm going to roll it up.
All right, let's watch that.
Yeah,
I want to
because,
see
you know,
who I'm going up against.
to cheer, right?
That's,
It's a simulated, like in the old days, they used to have a whip when they'd hit the horses, right?
that's
They
right.
don't do it anymore, but
They don't use whips. They don't use whips
I
anymore.
don't believe the drivers do anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Jeez. I guess they use the reins. Eh?
they use the reins and they move their
Wow.
bodies forward and backwards. But this is from the old days, people with their programs simulating whipping the horse to get them up, right? So
Yeah.
all you fans out there, you know,
Times have changed. I remember in the
there you
early
go.
days, in the early '80s, at the racetrack, everybody smoked, and it was like a fog of haze, right?
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
from
George, you got a
cigarette.
question coming in from Alex. How do you handle picking younger horses with less data?
That's a very good question. Usually, I avoid them, right? So my rule is there has to. I avoid 2 year olds, right? In general, because they're so unpredictable. They tend to be skittish. They're not as it takes time to train a horse, right? So the risks are higher with 2 year olds, higher risk of breaking. Um, so yeah, it's better. Again, there's plenty of other races. It's easy enough to avoid them, I
Yeah,
think.
that makes sense. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
and you really would see that reflected like at Woodbine because they're in a real stakes period now with 2, 3-year-old
yeah,
trotters, pacers, and the system doesn't,
it doesn't.
CompuBet doesn't do a good job, right? Because they
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's
can't
terrible.
forecast young horses.
It's less than 20% right now, like in the past week, right? So it's not good at all. So there's a lot of uncertainty.
Well, there's another question coming in from Maria, George. Is that a Greek flag behind you?
It is actually. It is actually. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. The race is starting.
Okay.
My video is frozen. Well, hopefully,
I think I'm
it
watching.
will.
I'm watching mine right now.
Okay, here we go. Looks like a good start.
Is it?
Looks like the 6 came up.
Oh,
So it's
geez.
6,
Okay.
1, and 2.
6-1-2. Okay, that's not. Oh my God, one's going. That's surprising.
One's going around the
Oh,
6, so you could have 1, 6,
oh,
and 6.
I think two's gone down to 3-5. Oh, that's too bad. I probably I normally would not have bet at such low odds, but
Well, let's see what
oh
happens,
well.
right? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not worth betting a 3 to 5 win, right?
yeah.
When is it worth it, George, to bet a 3 to 5 win? Is it ever worth it?
Never. It's never worth it.
Never
Why
worth it.
why risk money to make less money, right?
Is the horse that good that somebody would bet the horse?
Exactly.
You got to bet
Exactly.
$5 to win 3, so you get a
Exactly.
total of 8 back, but you put 5, on the line, right?
You put five on the line, exactly. So like I mean, that's a problem. Often the odds just drop in the last minute. But the thing is, we have to put our bets in at a certain time, right? But anyway, it is what it is, and my bet's in. I see that two is pulling
Yeah,
out,
I noticed the 2 sat for the second turn, which is a good drive
which is good, right?
because now
But
he's on a straightaway, so this is no big deal. So here he comes.
but the one looks pretty good though. So it's 2-1 we're hoping for. Well, but we do have a box, right? So we have a box to cover our
Oh,
bet. Oh,
geez, two's not looking good.
no, he's not looking good.
Notice the
Well,
driver bouncing up and down. That means he's really trying to push him, and he's not getting much reaction.
well, just kind of.
He might come on. Here he comes. He's coming for second.
All right, so we see we do cover our bets, right?
Yeah, you got a reverse box, and that's where
We
you
do have a
make
risk
money.
box.
You make money on an exactor box when you box the favorite with the second
Yeah,
choice. Second choice comes
exactly.
in. What did that exactor pay, George? The 1, 2.
I didn't. I think it was about $12 or so, something like
That's
that.
it,
But
eh?
at least I covered. At least I covered my bet.
Yeah.
Like so normally I probably would not have bet a win bet on number two at those 3-5. I would have probably done a $5 1-2 box, right? But at the time when I made the bet, it was 3-2, which I thought like was pretty good odds.
So Maria made another comment, George, that she
Yeah,
remembers the track a long time ago being smoky and a bit creepy.
it certainly was. It certainly was. We used to call the fans who'd go to the track, and I think when we were younger, we used to go to Greenwood down to Queen Street Oval. We used to call them creatures from space because a lot of them were from space.
Well, it's like the guy we showed in the video. He would be scary to a lot of people, but to
Yeah.
people that go to the
Oh,
track, that's the character.
that's right. That's right.
Okay, so
Okay.
pull up the spreadsheet. Have you got another race coming up?
I'm taking a look at my list here. Hold on, give me a second. Um, okay. All right, so let's maybe like we can try Northfield Race 6. It's 3 minutes to post.
Okay. So we'll wait and see what the results were here at Batavia. It's 126. So the average fan would have put probably the same bet that you did
Oh, is that right? Okay.
at Batavia, right?
Yeah.
The two favorites, I think, were 1 and 2. Yeah, the average fan would have copied your bet.
Okay.
Would have bet the favorites.
What did the exactor pay, Des?
I don't know yet. Let's see. Yeah, so the exactor paid for $1, $5.10. So like
So it was a
10,
10. Yeah. So I basically covered my bet.
so 510 times 250. So 12.75. So you made $2.75. Hey George, you're still
Oh,
winning. You're at $106.94, up 42.75.
okay.
The
Very
average
good.
fan has dropped $17.25.
All right. So what did I say? Did I say North? I think I said Northfield. Did I say? Yeah. I believe I said Northfield. Yeah, like I think my
So you
next
want
bet would
to go to
be.
Northfield?
That's right.
So what are you
So
thinking about there?
so this is a very interesting one. So we have two horses that no, like there's three horses that can win this race: 5, 3, or 9. The two that kind of caught my eye are 5 and 3, particularly the odds for 5 and for 5 is pretty good. Like 9 to 2 odds, three's 2 to 1 odds. So this might be a good race to do a win bet and maybe like a series of exactors, right? Because like 5, 2, or 3, each of those three horses can win this bet. So maybe a combination of exactors with those three horses, I think, would be a good bet. So we're a minute to post. So let's make
Okay, go
our
ahead
bet.
and tell me your bet.
Okay, so let's do a series of exactors.
Do you want to
Uh,
win or no?
no. Like we won't do a win bet because once again, like I'm not crazy about the post 5. Even though it's a good post on paper, it's still you have to be a fast starter. So I'd like to do a 2-5 exactor box, $2.
$2 exactor box or 250?
Oh, a 250.
And what was it? 2.5?
No, yeah. That's no. Sorry, a 3-5, 3-5,
Okay.
and the second one is let's do um, let's do a place on 5. Let's do a five. Let's do a $5 place on 5.
Place. Wow, you really.
Well, like I said, I don't like the post, but
So you want to
there's a
explain what a place bet is, George?
well, a place bet is if your horse finishes first or second, then you actually win, right?
Okay. So you got
Yeah,
$5 place on 5, 250 exactor box, 3 and 5.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So what about What about nine?
Well,
Now you know nine starts in behind the one. Eh?
well, Des, you know what? I see the odds are changing, right? So can I cancel my place bet on 5? It doesn't seem to be worth risking your money because before when I did
Okay.
it
Well,
was like
what
4 to
you have
1.
to make another bet though.
Yeah, I will. So let's make the other bet will be a three like a $5 exactor box and like 250 like we talked about. Um, no, sorry, a 3-9.
3-9 bucks.
Yeah.
So you're betting against yourself, but that's okay.
Well, oh, am I betting against myself?
Well, you got 3-5 and 3-9, so it's not that you are.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. So let's leave it at that.
So we got 3-5, 3-9. What kind of payouts we got there? Okay.
Okay. So sorry, we're on Northfield, right?
Yeah,
Grade 6? Okay.
Northfield.
Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. Like I said,
Is the race going or
well, let me just check here.
my stream is frozen, so just trying
No, the race isn't going yet.
to. Okay, so hopefully we can get it up here.
It's amazing how the odds just change like crazy. Now, like the three's back up to 9 to 5. It was even money a second ago, but so Des, can I change a bet or is it too late to change a bet? Okay, let's
Has
do
it started?
it.
I
No,
would say you can't change it now because
okay, it hasn't started, but that's fine. No, let's keep it the way it was. That's fine. Let's see what happens. No, I was saying that I think the 9 will be hard to win for the 9.
well, you know, the 9 post at Northfield is behind the 1. It's actually a good
No,
post.
yeah, yeah. But the one's a slow horse though. But anyway, we'll see. Well, actually, the one is making a big. It's funny. The one is making a big class drop. He ran at non-winners at 15,000. The first was $7,400. Now it's 3,800. So that's a huge drop. So actually, including the one in an exactor may not be a bad idea. That's okay. We'll leave it the way it is. But well, once again, there's you have to look at these nuances, right? A post position, and once again, I mentioned earlier that for me, class is a big factor. So having such a big class drop, right, is important for my system.
It's I've lost my ability to see video for a second, but let me
I'm
try.
I'm, I'm just checking right now.
Has it started or
No, it hasn't started yet.
I'm gonna try a different way, but let's see. So Eric asks, how does following online compare to being at the track? What do you think, George, from a COVID point of view? Pros and
Well,
cons.
obviously like the pro is you don't put yourself at risk for a COVID infection, which is a big one. So that's a pro. The other pro is you save time, like you don't have to physically go down there. The cons are you miss the human element, right? I mean, because part of the fun of going to the track is seeing people, being with your friends, and being surrounded by the energy. And there's nothing better than watching your horse win when you're actually there. So,
because part of it is like entertainment, right? I mean, you go to
yeah,
a movie
exactly,
or something like
exactly.
you don't mind dropping 20, $30 if you get
Yeah, exactly.
entertained, right?
Exactly, right. And also the good thing about the track is when you're there with your friends, you have time in between races, so you can chat. Like you can catch up on what's happening in their lives and stuff. Let me take a look here. Wow, this Northfield's pretty slow. They're
Still not running.
No. Let's kind of go into it. Let's see if there's anything else happening here. Is your video working, Des? Is it back on?
I'm just trying to get it back up here.
Okay.
I think it's just because we're broadcasting that I'm losing it.
Oh, the limited bandwidth, I guess.
Yeah. Are they running, George?
I'm just checking right now. No, they're still jogging around. I mean, it's been 0 minutes to post for 5 minutes.
That's one thing about betting online that's frustrating when tracks say 0 minutes.
So I think a key factor here is how is the 5 going to start? Like if he's going to go for the front, like in the previous race with the 6, he got to the front quick, and that helped him win, right?
Okay, so you got a 3-5 and a 3-9 here in Northfield, right?
Correct.
The starter has the horses for race 6.
So let's hope 3 gets a good start.
So you really need 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch it be 5-9 or something.
So just hope 3 goes for it. And
does 3 have speed or?
Sometimes.
Yeah, he's going.
Yeah, he's going. Yep, there we go.
They're off into pacing. Red gets the first call.
There we go.
See, 9 got a good start. See him? Because 1 got a good start. 9's actually going to be in the pocket.
On the inside,
no, I think 9's going to be 4th. He'll be forced to be. Now the thing is, 3's got to get up. Remember, I told you one could get a sneaky trip here,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. That on smaller tracks, you always got to look at the inside guys, how they do in the inside posts.
Yeah. So we've got 3-5, 3-9. Okay, so 9's gonna have to be first over, but
so 3's 4-1. It's good odds.
Yeah.
5's got cover.
Also out there is Squirt.
Nine's
As they
boxed
drive
in, right?
down here to the half, and at
So
the
let's
rail
see
is Beamer and Bud.
how 3 can slow
And the
it down.
trailer Grand Rosa.
Is 9 third or?
They move hard one
Nine's
and a
third
half,
right now.
and Red
Nine's
is
got
there at
nine's
56
he's
and
third.
2.
No, he's
Actually,
fourth.
On into the turn.
He's got a
no,
good
he's third.
position.
He's third. He's third.
He's got a good position.
So
Well,
he's actually coming first over, but not bad.
yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah,
3.
he looks good. 5's getting hung up behind a dead horse.
Is he? So 3-9 could be a good exactor.
Saving ground towards the rail.
Comes
Grand
9. Looks like he's
Rosa.
going to blow right
Then
by
we
the 3.
have Squirt. And
Wow, nine's quite a fit horse if he's.
as they go
It's the
Who's
guy
at the main
behind.
outside there? At
8,
6.
And up to take the
6.
lead.
No, you're done.
3/4
Oh, it looks like
Six.
3's dead.
Yeah, 3's dead.
Moving
Oh,
around
my
the
goodness.
final turn. Do you desire my heart?
It's like 9.
Up into
It's good.
second, Reflection of Royalty. Beamer and Bud is now in third, out there 3 wide.
Wow, that 9 is good.
Red is done at the
9,
rail
6.
as they cut
Is
the
6
corner
going to get him?
return
Is that
for
8 there or
home.
6?
Do you desire my heart?
It's 6.
In their second,
9, 6,
Reflection of
5.
Royalty. Do
Wow,
you desire
okay.
my heart? Reflection of Royalty,
All right.
McMadel, and Beamer and Bud 155 and 1.
What are the odds? 3 to 1 for 9. No, those are pretty good. Yeah, 3 to 1. Those are good odds. Yeah, 3. No, there were 3. 3 didn't have anything. I mean, he should have had more. It wasn't that hard of a trip that he had. He got up and then he just had nothing.
So it was 9, 6, and 5.
9, 6, 5. Yeah.
So no payout for George.
No
And
payout. Oh,
the average fan, let's take a look what they would have picked.
I think they would have picked a 1. Or no, that's sorry.
Well, they would
five.
bucks the 5 with the 9, right? And then
Yeah.
likely the 5 with the 3.
Right.
They wouldn't have had the 6.
No.
So 5,
So,
9, 5.
so I guess we both lost.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just looking at the next race here.
Yeah, so if we can pick it up, we got 2 more races to go here. We're already past 8, so
Yeah, let's pick it up. Let's see what's next. So something that's quick. Yonkers is in 3 minutes, so maybe we can do that one. Yonkers race 4. Yeah, this is another tough race. I probably wouldn't bet it, right? But there's some good horses in Yonkers race 4. But should I just make some picks for the sake of making some picks for Yonkers race 4?
I mean, you make some picks here. We got to probably do a couple of races, so use your best guess. So go for value. I mean,
yeah.
Look at value if the horses are tight.
Well, 4 is 1 to 5 in this one.
Should he be 1 to 5?
I'm just going to take a close look at him. Well, he's got a top driver. Let's just see what he's done in the past here.
Hey guys, I'm going to put up on the screen here what George and I talked about, and that is the track win percentage in CompuBet. So these are the tracks that are currently running. You can see we've got them in order of win percentage by the CompuBet stats. So the highest track rated is Fraser, which is out in Vancouver at 53%, and the lowest is the Meadowlands at 17%. So almost 3 times better using a CompuBet type of system at Fraser versus Meadowlands. So some of the favorite tracks for CompuBet is like Harrah's, Plainbridge, Batavia. You can see those top 5 tracks there that are all over 40%, around 40 plus. And as George mentioned, Woodbine Mohawk down here right now with all the stakes race running at 27% is poor, right? So you tend to avoid those types of tracks. Even Northfield, 27%, not a great track to bet. Flamborough, not a great track to bet. So it's tricky, right? You got to watch the track percentages all the time.
Right. Absolutely.
George, you got another bet there?
Yes, I do. I like. So it looks like in Yonkers race number 4, the heavy favorite is number 4. And actually, that's the one that my system picked. So I think I'm not going to bet a 1 to 5, but I'll do a series of exactors. So maybe I'll do I'll do two exactors. Sorry. I'll do a series of exactors. $2 exactor 4-2.
Okay. Huh?
And
4 with 2.
Yeah. Make that one a 4. Yeah. So 4-2, 4-5, 4-3, and let's do a 4-1 as well.
So 250 on each.
Yeah.
So you got 4 with 1, 2, 3, and 5. For $10.
No, actually 3 scratch. So you can remove that one. So let's
4 with 1, 2, 5. $3.33. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So where are we at that race? 0 minutes.
I think they're lining up. Yeah, they're lining up. So 4 is dropping in class, right? And you ran against much better horses last time, so like he shouldn't have a hard time with his field. He should get to the front and stay there, but we'll see.
Well behind, here they come. Sent on their way. So the 1-2 favorite Springsteen had spotted the field about a dozen lengths.
Okay,
so
one
off the light toward the inside. It's Southwind Moroccan. Living for a spot from the outside. That was Albergo Hanover.
He said he's
away
15 lengths behind.
Exchange. Elected a halfback to Ghost.
What are you going to do?
And after the
I think everybody's
beginning,
going to lose that one.
Springsteen is playing catch up now.
You know, and that's we talk about the difference being online. Well, let me turn off the volume here.
Moroccan 2 away to an unhurried Albergo Hanover. That opening quarter came up in 20.
We talk about being online versus at the track. So when you're online, you know, you can hold that cancel button right up to the last minute. If you see a guy break, you can cancel your bet. That's a big advantage. And when you're at the track, it's impossible to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame because he was heavy favorite, and a lot of people will lose money without even getting a chance to see him win or try.
I don't even see him in the picture.
No, he's not even in the picture. But two's looking. 2 was my second.
Oh, here he is. Right? He is last right now. See number 4.
Yeah, but he's way back.
Oh, he's coming. He's last.
But these are not stakes. Like high end stakes race horses, right? Like they're moderate horses. So 2 looks pretty good. 41 odds. That's really good odds.
Was 2 close?
2 is my second pick.
Maybe should have wheeled the 2.
Well, for sure you have to have the 4 in there, right?
Yeah, but you could put him in as partial. Oh, looks like 1's got it.
Well, you see, I remember telling you 1 just sat in the pocket the whole time, right?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
1, 2.
So once again, like these small tracks, 1 has a huge advantage. So I think I've got one more bet. I think, right, Des? Let's see if I can get a winner here.
Just got to see the average fan.
I think we both lost because the average fan would have had 4 as well.
The average fan would have had 4 as well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think I found a good race now, finally.
It's not easy to find good races, is it?
No. I mean, obviously for the broadcast, I bet on races I normally would not have bet just so we can do the broadcast, right? But you have to really, like the advantage of this online system is it gives you access to multiple races, multiple tracks. So among all that, you find good races to bet with, 2 or 3 good horses that kind of stand out versus 4 or 5, right? So,
right.
So for example, I found one here that looks pretty good at Batavia Downs race 10, 2 minutes to post.
Batavia Downs, race 10. All
Yeah, and
right.
the
So
one
George, this is your final bet. If you want
it's
to,
my final it's my final bet. Okay,
try to beat
so
DM, right? Me.
well, the bar is pretty high. DM is that's a very high bar there too. So the heavy favorite is number three. Let's take a close look at number three. Why is he heavy favorite here? What's why? That's weird. Well, I don't know why he'd be heavy because he finished eighth last time from a post four, same class. So why is he heavy favorite? Could it be inside money? You talk about bias. That could be a bias, right? You know.
Yeah. Are these horses, George, that you're looking at?
Let me think. The age. I don't see the age. Oh, this is a 5-year-old mare. This is number three. So the age should not really be a factor. I mean, I like horse one, and his odds are 11-1, right? But when you see a 3-5 for a horse that finished eighth, a flag should go up in your mind saying, "What gives? Is it inside money?" Like, and that actually happens, right? So it does create uncertainty when you make those kind of bets. But
All right.
he still finished eighth. Now
Well,
let's
take
take
a
a
look
look.
at it. I'm going to share something with the fans here. Just a little bit
Sure.
of teaching. I remember last week, Jordan, I see he's online this week again, asked about, racing 101. So I thought I'd throw in a lesson here on horse position terms. So you guys can see the picture here of a horse race as it's going. This is the leader here. So this horse is what we would call in front. The second horse is a nice trip. We've seen a few races tonight, guys, where the second horse has come on to easily win the race. So that's what we call in the pocket, or you could say the horse is in the two hole, or sometimes people refer to it as the garden trip. I don't know where that came from, but it is a term that people use. Um, the horse that comes up first on the outside, this horse here, you can see is called parked out, and the first one is called first over. If this horse then came in behind this horse, he would also be parked out, but with cover, and he would be called second over. So first over, second over. So when you're looking at a program, you can see it over here. These little circles where you see the arrow, the little circles, they represent, excuse me, they represent that the horse was parked out. So when you read the program, you know that the horse was parked out. So up in the top left, you see an oval of the track, right? So if you're parked out around a turn, you're going a longer circumference versus the horse on the inside. So a parked out horse actually runs more distance than the horse on the inside. So if you only lose by 20 feet, you may have run that extra 20 feet on the outside. So big disadvantage running on the outside, right? The horses with cover, whether they're in the two hole or parked on the outside, get the wind broken from the horse in front of them. So they save energy. It's like drafting, right? When you're on a bike or, trucks behind each other, they're drafting behind each other. So those are good positions, enviable positions, either the two hole or second over, very good positions. So I just wanted to teach everyone that lesson tonight. We'll do that in our broadcast, a little bit of teaching for the newbies online, but we'll take it back to your bet, George. Where are we?
Yes, I'm ready to make my bet, Des.
Okay.
So the horses that I like, I like horse number one. His odds are pretty good, 9-2 odds.
Okay. So which
So I like to bet $6 to win on number one, and a
number one or number two?
oh, sorry, um, number one. $6 to win on number one, and for my remaining $4, a $2 exactor box 1-3.
1 and 3. Okay.
Yep,
We got it in there.
you got it in there. Yep,
Yeah.
one
So
one, one is good odds. We'll see.
let's see where we are on our live. Are we running yet, George, at Batavia? Or
Not yet.
okay, let's take a look. Okay, so you got a win, $6 win on number 2 or number 1, right?
Number one, yes.
And you got an exactor box
1-3.
1-3. Okay.
So let's see what happens. Last bet of the night.
All right, let's see, George.
There we go.
You got a win on number 1 at 7-1.
7-1. So like we talk about value bets, and this is an example of a value bet, right? So 1 and 3 are pretty close numerically. As a matter of fact, 1 is a little better, at least according to the CompuBet system numerically. But we talk about value, right? So at 7, 1 should not be 7-1 because 1 and 3 are pretty close. Right? They should be more comparable than odds. And second of all, at least looking at the past performances, 3 was in the same class and he finished 8th from a post 4. So he hasn't been outstanding. So I don't understand why he's such a heavy favorite. Unless, like I said, unless it's inside money, unless he's super fit, who knows, right? But or maybe the average fan knows something that we don't know.
You think the average fan knows something?
But the thing is, how do you justify based on his past performance? How do you justify the 1-5? Like he hasn't dropped in class, and generally when a horse become a heavy favorite, either he won the last race or he's made a big class drop, and the 3 hasn't done that, at least to my eye. And I mean, like his last race from Batavia, same class, post 4, he finished 8th. So I don't know what gives, right?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah. Now he's got a good driver, like his Jim Morrell is a 24% winning driver, but still, does that justify a 1-5? And I don't know. And right now, horse 1 is 7-1. I mean, that's a very good value bet. And the driver of 7-1, Billy Davis, was a 20% winner.
Billy Davis is a very good driver. One of my rules, that I'll share is when you have one of the top drivers in post 1,
Yeah.
be very careful about betting against that driver. So, Billy Davis is one of the top drivers at this track. So when he gets the 1 hole, I mean, he's either going to be first or second.
Yeah.
Coming around the quarter mile, right?
Yeah.
These guys rarely will be out of position. They realize the value of that 1 hole.
And like also, if you have an inferior driver, it's hard to screw up in the 1. Like for example, we saw in the last race, the horse won. The driver was only 9% winning, but I think he won because he just sat there. Like it's hard to screw up when you're in post 1.
Well, you got to be in the top 2 spots, especially on the half-mile track. Now here he goes. He's going to be right behind the 3. Yeah.
So we'll see.
A great drive. Like Billy Davis is a smart driver. He's not. He's going to.
Okay, so 3's
going to be 3 and 1
so,
all the way around.
Yeah,
it's going to come down to the pocket, right? Does he have the horse? Because he's got a perfect. As we just talked about, guys, this is the garden spot.
Yeah.
This is the preferable spot in the whole race to sit second here.
Exactly. Yeah. So one has got the trip now, and we'll see. To your point, as it comes down to, does the horse have the fitness level to
Yeah, the difference is 3 being on top, nobody challenging. Is he going to get an easy pace?
Well, that's it.
Right? Already got an easy first quarter.
Yeah.
29 and 4. Like you don't see that anymore.
He's slowing it down. He's really slowing it down.
He might hit the half at a minute. If he hits a minute, you're not going to beat him.
And it looks like no one's challenging right now. So
yeah, it's bad. These horses will run around 159. So
the half's a minute, right? So
so you got a minute there. So he's going to come home in 58 and 4, something like that. Well, we never know.
Yeah.
Billy Davis is right on top of him. So.
Yep. So we'll see.
See what happens. Well, he's George. Your horse is only 9-5 now.
Yeah, it was 7-1, and suddenly drops 9-5.
It's ridiculous. Late money
crazy.
that came
It's crazy the way it drops.
I can't see you losing the exactor, really.
No.
The 1's going to come right now. Here he comes.
All right, let's see it. Come on, guys. Come on, 1.
All right, let's see if he's got anything. Yeah, he does. He's coming. He's got something, but it may not be enough. It's a short stretch. Oh, I don't even know if he got second.
Oh, geez.
Guy came up the inside there.
Yeah, yeah.
That wasn't good. He
Yeah.
looked good when he pulled, but
He did. It did. I think a better strategy would have been to keep the three out. Just keep them out.
well, not give up the lead. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
There's no
Just force them
passing
out.
lane at Batavia. Eh? There's no passing lane. So the other guy got lucky coming up the inside. Let's see here. One got second. Okay, I think you got the exactor.
I think get
Oh
the
no,
exact out.
it's showing 3-8.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
3-8-1. So you didn't get it, George.
381. Oh well.
I don't think the average fan got it either, right?
No.
So what would the average fan? Let's pull up our spreadsheet here.
Sure.
So the average fan probably would. Well, the average fan would have won on the three, right? Would have
Yeah.
had six. Would have had six
Oh,
dollars to win on the three,
but wait, he
right?
was 4 to 5 though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
On the
but
three.
he would have won
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
And the exactor box would have been still 1 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was 3-8-1.
Yeah.
All right, so you didn't win anything there.
No.
And the average fan, let's get reading on the average fan. I think you beat the average fan, George, but
Not by much.
you still went home a winner, right?
Yeah.
Well, wait, oh, it's official, so let's see here. So he paid 380 to win. Exactor paid 1940
That's a
trying.
good exactor.
So 380 to win.
I wonder how the 8 snuck in there.
The average fan picked up 1140, made $1.40. So
So what's the final
we got
tally?
our final results here. This is so George. I'm just gonna copy this into our other sheet here. Just frozen again. Just bear with me a minute.
Sure.
Okay, so let me share the PowerPoint. Okay, so here's the summary. So George the Greek made a profit of 1694, 28% return on investment. He went home a winner.
All
Congratulations,
right.
George.
Well, thank you.
The
Thank you.
average fan dropped $35.85, lost 60% of their money, went home a loser again. So
Oh,
remember, we thought, we expected the average fan to go home with $46. They only went home with like $24. So not a good night for the average fan, George.
yeah. Well, we had some close ones. We did have some close ones.
Yeah. So okay. So that's great. So you're at least you went home a winner. That's
right.
You were entertained, right?
I was entertained, and we paid for parking and we paid for a beer.
All right. So I want to thank George the Greek for joining the week. He set his mark. Maybe he'll be back on a future show to better his performance. But hey, went home a winner. It's all we can ask for. So thanks a lot, George.
My pleasure, Des, and it was a lot of fun.
All right, guys. So we're going to sign off. Again, if you want to participate in the challenge, drop me a note. Send me a note on my subscriber page, and we'll get you on. Okay. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for the comments coming in from the fans. and we'll keep this challenge going. All right. Good
Great.
night, everyone.
Good night, Des. Thank you. Bye.